Hi guys, thanks for this episode of the Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have an incredible guest. We have international model, Australian icon, fashion designer, author, and photographer Robyn Lawley. Robyn has modeled for Elle, Marie Claire, Cosmopolitan, Vogue, and Sports Illustrated, to name a few. Welcome to my fellow Australian Robyn, and thank you for coming on my podcast.
Thanks for having me, Nick. That was quite welcoming. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. It's Sunday night in New York. Nick luckily got me because I almost was going to go to bed soon. So yeah, riveting times.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, tell me, how's it all been going over there?
Yeah, it's good. Like I was just saying, COVID, I feel like is finally kind of ending, even though I know COVID's still out, so I shouldn't really say that. But people are starting not to wear the masks, and like my daughter doesn't have to wear a mask at school now. So, and I just traveled recently for work again. Like I feel like I didn't travel for so many years, so it was really weird for a model not to leave. But I've enjoyed it too. I luckily live in the woods, so I've been gardening and playing with my daughter, and I had to become a teacher as well. That was during COVID times, like many parents. I don't know if you've got kids, Nick, but yeah, teaching was a new, venture for me. But yeah, going good.
Awesome. How has the pandemic affected you personally and professionally?
I think I got to do my podcast, Everybody, which was really an amazing experience. And I got to interview some really incredible people. And so I was happy that I feel like, even though I was sitting still, I got to do something. And, I learned how to grow mushrooms, which was another really cool thing to learn. And it's really complicated if everyone's like, whatever, lady. I was like, mushrooms are not that easy to grow. And, they take a lot of time. And so I grew like loads of different types. And so, yeah, I think it's what you take from it. You can either make the COVID experience kind of like, your bad experience, or you can try to grow from it. So I just was trying to grow from the experience. And I did get COVID too. But I didn't even know it. I was trying to come home and I had my suitcase with me, going to the airport style, and then got my results and was like, what? And then I had to quarantine. I was completely, it was a unique experience.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah. How is it for you?
Yeah, it's good. I'm very similar to you. So when COVID hit, and we obviously had the lockdown, especially I live on the northern beaches. So we had our own like 2.5 lockdown, excluded from the rest of Sydney around the Christmas time to a year and a half ago. So yeah, I started my podcast too, and obviously this is where we're at now. So I was very, I guess, I'm similar to you. I didn't want to just waste my time and just got into it.
Oh, nice, good job.
Thank you. All right, let's just jump straight into it. Take us back. Tell me about growing up, your family, and yeah, everything relating to that.
Yeah, I mean, I just grew up in Western Sydney, Australia, like nowhere that special. It was a little rough where I was, but it was a good experience. I had, a big family, a lot of siblings, and I'm the youngest. And I got into modeling because my older sister wanted to model. And so we were just aware of it, and we watched a lot of fashion TV, and my auntie was a model. My auntie is so beautiful and was a fashion designer, so I used to look up to her a lot. And then I kind of, because I didn't fall into it, I really actually tried a lot, and they all just denied me because I was too tall and too curvy. So I kind of forgot about it, and then went traveling again into Europe and lived in Europe for a while, and then came back, and then kind of fell into it again. And in Chelsea, somehow we connected. And then she signed me on the spot, and I've been with Chelsea at Bella Management ever since. So it was, I think I was like 18 at the time. And wow. Yeah, got to go to New York, signed to New York agency. It was like, from a little girl from Western Sydney, Australia, to like New York and all these New York agents. It was such a crazy experience. And yeah, signed with Wilhelmina. And but the first year of living in New York City for any model is such a unique experience. I got shoved into a model's apartment with 8 other girls. It's like its own reality show. And it was regular models though. So a lot of the time it was just me, the one eating in the apartment. But no, I made really good friends, and it was really fun. New York is New York. It's unique experience.
Yeah, for sure. And tell me about the, I guess, it's an incredible journey. I guess when you were doing the shoots and obviously really starting to take off and, really getting a lot of exposure, especially internationally, what was that experience like? And how did that feel, especially being young at the time as well?
Yeah, no, it started to feel really exciting. I was following a model, Crystal Wren, at the time. She had done, I think, Vogue, or she had done a lot of stuff that no other curvy girl had ever done. Like, we had never seen a curve in a magazine or TV or anything near my size. And I look back on that and I think, wow, it's so crazy. Like, no curves, like nothing, no way. Models were half my size. So I looked up to Crystal Wren and would look up after her, like, agency and things like that. But yeah, no, it's been interesting ride because we've been trying to break the, like, usual way that they do things. Like, designers, they would make so much fun of you, and you just had to, like, move on and act really confident and be like, why don't you have this size for me? I'm average size. Well, I'm really tall, but I'm still, like, curvy. So where's, I want to buy this and you're not, like, allowing me. And it's just like discriminatory. So anyway, I liked eventually, we got through to them in that sense because we would just ramble, like, other shoots, and we would just come into it and declare that we were a part of it. And now it's starting to change. Now I see curves much more in the runways, but they're still not really there. Like, we're still really pushing for diversity on the runways.
Yeah, that's great insights. What has been some of the best shoots, and I guess covers that have stood out for you in your career that really you go, wow, that was amazing?
For me, I remember French Elle years ago. It was such a beautiful cover, and it was the first time that I was really treated like a regular model, not like a curve model, and given, like, that, kind of rollback eye. They wanted to create just an epic fashion shoot, so I could do all the fashion shop moves, and it looked just so beautiful. And so that was one of my first big covers and big editorials. So I loved doing that. And then, Vogue Italia was such a change in the industry to get all those heavyweights. Like, they all have like 20 assistants. It's like such a unique experience being on a Vogue Italia set, but it was beautiful. And I was with some friends, and, Sports Illustrated, they're amazing, and they support your career, and you get to travel with them and party with them and meet the fans. So it's been fun. I think I've done it like 4 or 5 times now. So it's, I love the traveling too. I love traveling. So it's just I've been able to go to all around the world. So I know how lucky I am. So I'm really grateful to have this job.
Incredible. Where's some of your favorite places you've traveled to?
I find Italy, I love traveling to Italy because they have so many unique shoot locations. And I've been to Hawaii. I love going to Hawaii. I love the islands. I love down South America too. I love the people down in South America, in Mexico. But yeah, I just love traveling. So I've got to really visit a lot of amazing places. I love Amsterdam. I love Holland. But yeah, it's definitely, got to open my eyes, and I got to see a lot of places. Lake Como, I've shot at Lake Como, like, I think 4 or 5 times. That's a really popular destination, and that's in Italy, and that's beautiful. So it's, yeah, if you like traveling, it's a good job for that.
Well, that's tremendous. And tell me, you've done a bit of photography. Tell me about
Yeah, I like, shooting some of my friends, and you need shots as a model all the time. Like, you need new shots for your book, and you just need to keep up the social demand. And I needed shots for my swimwear campaign too. And I don't know, I would look at the photographer, what they're doing, and I'm like, I'm just learning by experience and picking up stuff. So I got a few cameras. I have a few cameras now, and I got a set, and I was doing food photography as well. So it kind of just, like, my friend was like, I need new shots of this and that and that. And I was like, I can take it. I've got all the gear.
that.
And so I kind of fell in it that way. And then I realized I kind of like videography better. So I've been doing more of that. And I got to work with Sports Illustrated for that, and some models for that, and got to shoot my own campaign and my friend's campaign. And it's just been something I'd like to feel like I'm learning, you know, as a maybe potential future career, or, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. You did Ralph Lauren. Tell me about that and the moving billboard, and that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Ralph Lauren's such a great company, and they're really trying to use diversity, you know, and all companies should take notice and do the same thing. And the team of Ralph Lauren is so lovely, and the photographers are so lovely. And it's, you know, it's funny because I have Robyn Lawley is RL, Ralph Lauren is RL. So I feel like it was meant to be in some weird sense. But yeah, they're amazing, and I've loved the opportunity. I'm so glad that they use curves now, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's sensation. And tell me, you're a proud vegan. Tell me about that and how that's changed your life.
Yeah, well, I was a vegan as a teenager, ironically, for years, and I was a vegan as a teenager for animals. And then I kind of just lost my way and got sick of it. Got sick of my friends, you know, telling me to change. And so I went back to eating meat and dairy and wrote a cookbook, you know, about the whole, you know, I was eating anything I wanted, and I was like, I can eat this and that, and anything I want in moderation, and I'm fine. And then I got really sick. And after my daughter was born, I had a stroke. So I had found out while I had the stroke that I had lupus, which was an autoimmune problem. So it was like a crash of events. So I think 3 weeks from delivering my daughter, and then suddenly I'm in hospital. I got taken to Australian hospital from America, and it was all very dramatic. I lost the feeling completely of my left side. And autoimmune conditions, I think you hear them and then you just blow them off. But like I said, I found out I had lupus and APS in mid-stroke. So I had to learn to live with a newfound illness and learn to move and talk again on the side. And then a few years later, I started opening up about my lupus, and a doctor contacted me and told me she could put my lupus into remission. And I was like, sure, go ahead. Like, because I can't go into the sun, and I'm modeling. And she did. And it took a lot of work, but she's a vegan. She doesn't eat any inflammatory food. And she's very healthy. Her name is Dr. Brooke Goldner, and her hashtag is Goodbye Lupus. And literally, I was drinking 12 cups of spinach a day, and 1 full cup of omega-3s, so flax seeds or chia seeds. And I had that every single day, and I put my lupus into remission. And so it works. And it's not an easy thing to do. You know, it's something, if you had cancer, I would recommend to do. You know what I mean? Like, if you had an autoimmune condition, do it. If you have cancer, do it. Like, give yourself the chance to get better. And even today, I still drink 2 ginormous smoothies every day. I do not miss it. And it is, instead of taking a huge amount of drugs or chemotherapy, I drink smoothies.
Wow, that's great insights, and that's definitely something that would have changed your life. What was that experience? Because that's quite scary, getting a stroke. Obviously, being a young age too. Yeah, like, I guess mentally, how did that affect you as well? Like, what really, that would have changed your perspective, I'm assuming.
Yeah, just slightly. I think it changed everything, your outlook. And it's one of those things where, you know, while it was happening, I thought I was just going crazy. You know, I thought it was postpartum. I think everyone around me thought it was postpartum. The first hospital I went to in USA turned me away. And so I went home, like, not being able to move half my face. And I was just not coherent anymore. And to be sent away from a hospital was like, it was so bizarre. It was my manager that came over, Chelsea, and she took one look at me and she's like, she needs to go to hospital, like, now. And they took me home. It took me straight to the ER in Sydney. And then they, you know, gave me a CAT scan, and they were like, yeah, she's had 2, not just 1, but 2 strokes. So it was a series of unfortunate events, you know. And I think when you're young, a lot of the time people aren't diagnosed when they have a stroke, you know. And I think when you hear stroke, you think old person, you're like, what the hell? So it's the reason why I'm more inclined to talk about it now, because it took many years. It's been 7 years, and it's not been an easy thing for me to talk about, because sometimes it's embarrassing because people do not know anything about a stroke. So they just hear it and they're like, whatever, you're too young. But unfortunately, the only thing I can't fix from the stroke is my epilepsy. And that's one thing you do. It's like you get damage from a stroke, unfortunately, and my damage was epilepsy. So it's a new condition that I live with. But, you know, I've still got hopes, just like lupus, I put into remission, that one day they hopefully will be able to put epilepsy into remission. But I manage that through drugs, unfortunately. But that's the way I have to do it at this day and age.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that too. Yeah, I know it wouldn't be easy. So yeah, I appreciate that. All right, let's change. Tell me about your fashion design and the swimwear, I believe, that you created and helped.
Yeah, I mean, I love doing swimwear designing. It was an amazing experience, because swimwear is like one of those things that, for some reason, for women, it just always does not fit well. And, you know, as a model, I would put on so many pieces and be like, man, this doesn't fit my hips right. This is so boring, or it's ugly, or this is no cup. There's no like, and so I was like, it's so easy to design something cool. I don't know why these people aren't going up in sizes or thinking about a woman's body. And we created Robyn Lawley swimwear a few years ago, and it sold out. It was amazing. It was cool, like just cool swimsuits, and they fitted you and you didn't have to worry. And I think I still have all my suits and from many different collections, and they last. They're good quality. That was my big thing. I wanted good quality and double lining, and I wanted them to be able to last, because I used to be a swimmer, so swimming was my life. So it was an amazing experience, and I think we did like 5 seasons. It's still selling now in some shops, but the person I was doing with parted ways. So I'm trying to still figure out if I want to do it another season, or if I do something else. So I'm just trialing to see.
Yeah, cool. What are the current projects and I guess the future projects you're working on too? What does the future look like?
For me, like, it's coming out of the pandemic times. I still, you know, I enjoy working in New York, and I still enjoy traveling, but I've been doing a lot of art works of late, like just trying to, I feel like, get through emotional stuff, and art helps me a lot. So I'm doing a lot of art these days, and for future, like I said, I might go into a bit more vegan cooking. That's something I do a lot of, because just to promote it, because I believe that our, you know, Earth is unfortunately very malnourished right now and needs a lot of help. And it's the easiest thing you can do to help Earth right now is go vegan. So I'm trying to push that a lot. And yeah, I'm really loving life and really grateful to be here. And I know I nearly died. So like I said, I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm very happy, and I think I live a very blessed life, and a lot of people don't. So I want to change that for them too.
Yeah, awesome. What motivates Robyn daily?
My daughter, definitely, and trees. I love, you know, I sound like an old lady probably, but I love seeing trees in Mother Nature every day. She motivates me. And my partner, he's amazing. I love my man. He's such a sweetheart. And so, yeah, that's what motivates me daily.
And what's in your career? Obviously, you would have met a lot of people. What's the best advice you've received?
I've received a lot of advice. I love it. I think, you know, some people, it's more just like being honest with who you are, kind of like cliche advice. But and I think my agent, she's always picked me up when I fall a lot. So she tries to build me up. And I think just owning who you are is a really good advice. I know that's cliche, but just accepting yourself and accepting your body size. And, you know, I think that can really help you, and you can change your ways, because not everyone was meant to be a stick. You know, I hate this cliche fashion world of everyone's meant to be skinny. It's not true. And you know, everyone has bone sizes that are different. So I think letting go of that kind of need and guilt, like just let go of it and enjoy your body now for what it is.
Yeah, that's great advice. And for the younger generation, especially the younger models that are obviously, you inspire and they want to come through, I guess, to be at your level, what would you say to them?
You're very sweet. My first advice would be take care of your health. Your health is number one. And the fashion world can be very fleeting and they don't give a shit about you sometimes, and they can drop you in an instant. And I remember seeing at the models apartment, girls come in and girls come out and they would be broken and they wouldn't have succeeded and they would be in a lot of debt. So Model Alliance, my friend Sarah Ziff has written a lot about it and she helps a lot of girls because it looks so glamorous on the outside and it looks so, this and that. And you think the models are earning a fortune, but they're really young. They're like 14 and 15 sometimes and they have no idea what they're doing. And they get sent to New York City, and everyone's like, I'll take care of this. I'll take care of this. I'll take care of this. Oh, wait, here's the bill, at the end. And it's like, it's not a small bill. It's usually tens of thousands of dollars. And then they take it from the kids' work and then they're left with nothing. And I would see that every day with the models. So you have to kind of be smart and come into it knowing that it's a tough industry. And like I said, your health is the most important. So if you're feeling stressed out, you're feeling tired, your health is really the most important. And eat. You don't have to be skinny.
Yeah, for sure. That's really great advice. And if you were 18 again and you could do anything differently or you could change anything, is there anything you would change and what would that be?
I actually thought about this today because I was feeling, I had just a moment to myself, and it would definitely be, I wish I kind of stayed vegan as a teenager. Like I feel like I was on the right path. I'd researched a lot about the factory farming and just a lot about farming in general and the milk practices, dairy industry and all of it. And I had felt I was on the right journey. And like I said, I just gave it all up and went back into meat and cheese and everything, very hardcore. And like I said, I got really sick. And so for me, that is my regret, unfortunately. But, it's also led me to meet a lot of people and garden. And now I live in the woods. So I think it did lead to another journey. So you've got to try to take the bad with the good. But I feel like I'm in the right place now. And I think people can make the change. People can care about their health.
Yeah, awesome. Robyn, thanks for coming on the podcast. Giving up your time, I do appreciate it. And, no, that's all right. Yeah, I love seeing what you're doing. This amazing trajectory in life, and especially obviously what you've alluded to with everything that's happening. It's amazing. It's incredible.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to check out some of these other interviews you've done.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have to listen to them. I'll send them to you.
Yes, please. I love podcasts.
All right.